Hey guys, what's up? STH here, back with another tier list update video. I'm really excited for this one because we got a lot of new stuff and two new characters in one whole month's worth of cycles. And I'm really excited to place them because there's a lot to go over for these two especially. And of course for the new people that got new stuff as well. But first, I'd really like to say thank you to everybody who has been supporting me. It's been pretty overwhelming just how much people are commenting and how much I'm answering questions, and it just makes me feel really good. And it's honestly such a big deal to me since I was not expecting it to get even past 100 views. But you guys blew it out of the water, and I really do appreciate it. And thank you again. Also, feel free to check out my socials, but I'll go into that more at the end. And let's just get started. No more lollygagging around. So we're gonna start out with the. We're not gonna go to the new characters right away. I'll save those for last. So then we can get a better evaluation for everybody else. But before I get onto the characters that got new stuff and of course the new characters, I'm gonna change some placements around. Sephiroth, I'm lowering him down to A tier. He's still really good. His reworked kit is still really good. Do not knock him down for that. But he is just not as he just hasn't been as well usable in most comps as most people think. And that makes me really sad. So, I'm also gonna be knocking down Sid Reigns. Sid Reigns is still really good. Let's see. Did I get the right one? Where is he? Oh, there he is. Sid Reigns, I'm knocking down to B. Actually, wait, this is B. No, this is C. What am I doing? B. He's still a really good launcher, and he still gets a lot of damage out. But because there's now other characters who can do better damage, especially during a launch, which I have not seen him. I haven't used him that much in the Shinryu era as of yet, but that might change soon. He's still solid overall. I still think he's pretty good. Just not A tier good. Shulk, I'm also placing down to B tier. Again, same thing as Sid Reigns, just not really keeping up very well with her current kit. But she still gets a lot out of self-tanking. She gets uses back. Her EX is super powerful. So, do not knock her down for that. Anybody else I see here that doesn't, that I think doesn't belong here? Jekt, probably. I mean, I have not seen Jekt used that much. He's still a solid fire character overall. So, Sice, I'm also gonna put down to B. Ignis, I'm also gonna put down to B. Rem, I'm also gonna put down to B. There's a lot of characters I'm just putting down to B because I just don't feel like they do very well. Eiko, I'm actually gonna put down to C. She has not been used that much lately, and honestly, her orb shenanigans is now over, so she doesn't have much use anymore in a comp. Who else? Alright, let's go. I think A's fine where it's at. I think A's pretty fine where it's at. I think everybody here deserves to be here. Layla, I'm actually going to put down to A. She still is very good at evading, just her damage is not good at all. She's pretty bad at doing damage. Which didn't matter as much for Dissidia Plus, but it matters so much more now for Shinryu. Cisne? Honestly, yeah, Cisne's A. Her follow-ups are amazing, but that's it. Everything else does not work out for her. And I think that's it. I think this is a good start. Reno, I would place higher if his FR worked with his kit better, but it doesn't. But his FR is still pretty freaking good. Do not forget about that. Snow. Dash. I think everybody else here does deserve to be where they are. Anybody here? Yeesh. Yeesh, you're only good for reviving for 6-man now. Edgar, I'm actually going to place you down just to see. His imperils are still really good, but, like, I'm not going to use him in the team just for that. Leo, do I want to put Leo lower? No, I think he's good where he's at. Guy, I'm probably going to put you just a teeny bit lower. Anybody else? Fujin, yeah, you're C. Okay, let's go to C real quick. C. Alright, Trey. Noel. I think Variant's still good where he's at. Balthier as well. Papalimo, I'm not sure. King, I'm probably going to put him lower. I'm not sure. Zandy, probably. I'll put him lower. Cater has a good call still. Bart's, I'll probably put you lower. Anybody else that's really sticking out to me right now and see? Oh, Liza. Definitely Liza. Kefka, I think you could go lower. I think Kate's base kit's still pretty bad, but his call is still pretty good. B, anybody else in B that I think should be lower? I think everybody deserves to be where they are at. Lena, I'll put an A. She's still extremely good. She's just... I don't know if she's S tier good, but... Alright, I think that's everybody I wanted to update. Let's go into E real quick just to see. Hope I'll put an F. His kit's really bad. It's still really, really bad. Sarah, I'll also put in really bad. Anybody else? Neil, I'll probably put in really bad. I think that's everybody that I can think of at the top of my bed. Alright, I think this is pretty good standard. Alright. Let's get into it now. Okay, first is OT. OT got her BT Plus, the first cycle of this month. Around the New Year's event that we got. And honestly, she got a pretty good boost. Her S2 is still 4 uses. But that's pretty much it. I'm not sure what else to say to her. But she still does the turn to leading stuff, just way better now. I think she's overall a better character than what she was before, which is which was not good at all. This is her first rework as well, and I'd say they did a pretty good job on it. Yang, holy crap, your counters became pretty freaking good. As for the rest of your base kit, though, yeah, but his counters got so much better. Like, honestly, he's no longer just a counter bot. He now counters and actually can do damage to back it up, and I really like that for him. Lion became one of the coolest follow-ups characters I have ever seen. She can do basically a million with every move that she does. Not as well as Tidus does it. Tidus is way more. His doesn't rely on a three buff stack counter, but hers is still pretty good. Do not knock her down for that. Her DPS is still is really good. But that's all she really does. I don't know what else she could do besides just do damage. Seifer, you got your FR boards. I think you're decent. I think you're a solid character. Just with FR boards, of course, a lot of characters' kits are coming out, and like, oh wow, like their kits have not aged that good. His call is fantastic though. Both of them, I believe, delay. So do not knock him down for that. He has a pretty good delay counter. Call, not counter. He doesn't counter at all. Bosch, you are a try-hard warrior of light. Actually, I was thinking of placing him in C, but I don't think of placing him in D. Yeah, I'll place him in C. He's a party tank, like Warrior of Light. But he also just doesn't have that much more support other than what, like, Warrior of Light has a BT, and a pretty freaking good BT effect. And his LD is insanely good as well. And he also has Z-buff immunity. Bosch doesn't have any of that besides shielding and doing other minor stuff, like, I don't know if he does gravity. I don't think he does. I haven't used Bosch in a while. I did get his full kit from when he came back this time. I'm thinking of building him just to see, but next we have Terra. Terra was on a campaign banner with Ace and Ramza. But Terra got the better treatment of the three. But she got an FR and a rework to her S2, which is actually better for single targets. So her S2 is now actually worth using over Meltdown, which Meltdown was a 3-hit splash, and Meteor before was just a 3-hit, was a 3-dump single target, and Meltdown was a 3-dump with 1 splash hit. So, but now you have a reason to use Meteor over Meltdown, and that's with single targets. So she's pretty freaking good at doing single target damage. So do not forget that. Okay, next we have Ace. Ace got his C90 and FR boards. And his rework's pretty substandard. His EX does more damage now. It's a 4-hit HP dump. Pretty freaking. And that's super like standard. It's usually EXs are around 4 to 5 hits. So C85s at this point are like 4 to 5 hits. Sometimes more. But the biggest things that people had problems with was his traps being reworked, but not to be reworked to have more brave hits, but to not have an extra dump. And honestly, I don't see why that's such a big problem. It actually makes him a way better splash trap dealer than most other characters are. Because most traps are usually single target. So, but his is splash. And now he can actually cap better with his traps. And also cap better with the second splash hit as well. Like, it can go easily do over 100k for both of them. That's pretty good. Like, honestly, if they were if they were double dump, that would be kind of broken, and we all know that. But honestly, what they did here, I think, was pretty good. Having a double dump with Ace would be kind of ridiculous, and would probably make him an instant S tier in my mind. Like, I'm not even joking if he got double dumps on his traps, because his traps trigger from pretty much anything once you get that first trap set off. So, it's just ridiculous. Ramza is still S tier, easy S tier. With the FR boards, he's now a mix of a FR gauge builder, because his S2 is Brave. I usually just do 2 of his S2 and then do S1, and that should give a pretty good. That should be a pretty good chunk of the gauge. His BT effect is still extremely good. Just with FR boards now, he can do more damage, especially since he's a support that can deal out damage. So, Aroa, S tier, easy S tier. Sure. Her kit didn't get reworked that much. It just does more damage. Her EXC85 just got Brave damage and added in. No more dumps. Still 4 dumps. Again, like I said, it's standard. So, but her FR is extremely good. Probably better than Ursula's, which is also a Brave-based FR. Whenever somebody does an ability that gives Brave instead of attacking, that'll get like 100%. She does 105%. So, like, that's better than Ursula's, but she just doesn't deal the damage like Ursula does. But Ursula doesn't do the same amount of support that Iroha does. So, she's still a solid support overall. Just her FR is incredibly good. Alright, 7, oh, 7. 7B. B or C? Thing is that she no longer is bad. I think she's just decent now. 7, her LD got 7 dumps, which is honest. This isn't the first time we heard that. That also happened with Jagran and even KS, wherever he is. I think he's an A, B. Where is he? Where's KS? Oh, there he is. There's KS. He's in C. I put him in C. But her stack debuff is still only on one enemy at a time, and once you switch it out, it always resets to 1. That's always a problem, especially when you're trying to deal with more than 2 opponents at once. So, Raijin is still Raijin, one of the best calls in the game. Just with FR, he has FR boards. Sabin is a really interesting FR. So I have actually fully maxed out him. I've actually fully maxed Sabin out to use with Pasil, because I am a big Pasil fan. And honestly, it's a pretty dang good combination, because all you need is Fujin Call, or a call that can party enchant wind, and have him just do his AA, or Pasil do his AA, and we can get the FR gauge will start just exploding with percent. Just be aware that it needs to be a wind. Just be aware that they can all... actually, he doesn't need to Holy Enchant, because all you need is Holy, and then have Enchant Wind, so then they can both do it. Honestly, one of the most interesting FRs that we have gotten, and one of the more, like, explicit, like, strict ones. Kuja was only on that banner to be helpful for Sabin's FR condition. Pretty freaking weird. He's still a pretty good holy damage holy DPS. I think it's like he got a lot of dumps on his S1 and S2 as the X is standard. His LD became more potent, so now it caps better now, which is very good. It's extremely good to have that. Other than that, he didn't get a whole lot. But he's a better damage dealer than he was now, and I think he's worth having on a team. Quizist. S tier. And a lot of people are gonna disagree with me on this. But also, don't forget that she's able to to freaking delay immune enemies. So I don't know. If you say that's not S tier worthy, I think you're kind of insane. The problem is that, yes, of course, her damage is lacking, but it's her delays that matter the most. And not to mention that she gets a free turn from using S2, and also delays them like 3 turns. You can go again and use the same move, especially on single target enemies. She's never gonna let them attack. Yuri, I still have no idea where I'm gonna place you. Yuri, you're so interesting. I actually like you a lot. You know what? Screw it. People can get mad at me later. Yuri is honestly very good. He has a weird trap mechanic whenever the boss changes forms. And then he goes for an instant trap, and it always triggers. I figured this out when I was doing Shiva boards for him, so, that's pretty cool. His BT is also very interesting. It's the basic, like, HP up and HP damage up and Brave damage up and stuff like that. But he also has evasion on there. And I believe it's Holy Enchant as well. Very similar to, wherever Shantoto is. I think I placed her in bad. Yeah, Shantoto. Same thing with Shantoto as well. But the most interesting part is that he is able to do over a million AoE damage. Whenever I don't actually know how his mechanic even works. I thought it had something to do with Chalinka stacks, but I guess it doesn't. Again, I'm not sure. I use them a fair amount now. But I hope I'll figure that out soon. But he's still pretty good. But he's extremely good now. Before, his LD was pretty underwhelming. But now he's pretty much a beast in his own right. Of course, he works well with Basil, because of the magic regen and the holy, and also because he can holy enchant. Both of them can, but Basil's is way more easier to get off, and I think last longer because I think his BT affects 6 turns, which is a huge thing. Also, I think I already mentioned this, but his BT effect does have 100% evasion on there for how long his BT lasts. Eld, A tier. Eld just got a basic rework, but honestly, that kind of did change a lot for him. Before he was struggling to cap, and before he was struggling, but now, his LD got 5 hits, 5 HP dumps, and is better now. His terror mechanic still works well. His EX is still super strong. His EX became extremely strong with his C85. Especially with his, with phase shift, which is now, I think, 3 which I believe it's 4 HP dumps, and also he gets to go again. And because of terror, he keeps on going. It's still only 1 turn, but that's enough, but honestly, you can always just set it up again, so... Yeah, just feel free to experiment around with Eld. Eld can do a lot. Gladiol. Gladiol is, like the other counter tanks, pretty freaking good. The 3 counter tanks, Gloof, Orin, and Gladio, are all in A tier. Not surprisingly, they all have the same amount of utility, and they are all pretty freaking good. Gladio, I don't actually remember what else he does, but I know he's good. So do not knock him down. He's still good. Yuffie. I'm going to talk about her. I'm going to be pretty harsh. Yuffie, with her C90, her EX can easily do 1 million plus a splash hit. Does that mean that does that make her a good DPS? No. She is buff stealer, and she became better with that, with her rework. Other than that, I think she was definitely one of the most overhyped units from this cycle. As soon as she came out, a lot of people realized, oh yeah, the rest of her kit though. But her C85 is extremely strong. Like, I'm not even gonna be joking around when I say it's pretty strong. So do not forget that. RC, I'm putting you in C. Same deal. Actually, she was in B before, I believe. I put her in B. You can always look back at my old videos if you want. But RC is... I mean, I don't know, man. She's weird. She dispels. She also does other crap, I guess. So, that's it for RC. Rydia. Rydia still has a pretty good water enchant call. Still works best with water enchants. But of course, Luna Freya helps a lot with that, and we'll get to her really soon, so. Next up we have Vayne. Vayne, very interesting character. Vayne works, he got a significant boost with his LD and his S2. Even though his S2 is 3 dumps, I believe. It might be 4, but I think 3. But because it also mid-breaks, which is one of the best things about his kit, about that S2, is it mid-breaks. So you can basically break twice in one move if you actually time it right. S1 is S1, it's just there to refresh the buff. But it just does more damage now. LD is extremely powerful. His EX is actually became one of the best parts of his kit. But we'll get into the problems with his EX in a little bit. But his FR, the best part about his kit now is his FR. His FR is very self-fulfilling. It works around his BT effect, which is a double dump follow-up with terrible potencies, and everybody agrees, and everybody knows that. If only his follow-ups weren't so bad, I think he could have actually outdone Cam, honestly. But it's freaking Cam, and Cam became even more broken with Core, which I'll get into in a minute. But Vayne, his FR surrounds his BT effect, and also doing physical damage. Well, like, in-range melee damage, if you get what I mean. Which his EX, now we're getting into the problem with his EX. His EX is magic-based, which means you're not going to get that that sweet FR condition. So whenever you're in FR Tam, you never use his EX, even though his EX is extremely good. But you will never use his EX because you want to get that sweet percent on with Vayne. And that's one of my biggest gripes with him. I was originally going to put him in A, but a lot of people brought up that he is a very good self-sufficient damage dealer, and I agree, because his FR is freaking powerful. But it's just his EX does not support that. His BT effect is garbage. But his base kit, his LD are just great and should not be knocked down. And he gets insane percents off as well. Don't forget that. So that's why he's an S. Leon, the Dark Enchanter himself. I have no idea what you do still. I just put you in B because I feel like that's a safe bet. Cyan, he still has a wickedly good call. He just got FR boards. So, Gao. C90 Gao. Ooh, this guy is an insane counter Earth unit. He is just really fun to play around with. I invested in him, and holy crap, he is probably one of the most fun units to play. He counters. He does he has really satisfying animations, and that's another big thing is as animations are really really satisfying, and if your character doesn't have satisfying animations, it makes me not like them that as much, which I will definitely mention whenever we get to Lunafreya, because I have problems with her animations. But Gao's are really strong. They feel powerful, and he also is powerful. Very good counter Earth unit. Just feel free to try him out with like a bunch of other counter units like Orin and Gao, and then like have like a very strong DPS like Tidus there. Noctis is the last character we're gonna be evaluating before we get onto the new characters. And he got FR boards only, and his kit's not good, guys. His base kit's not good. It's his S2 is still pretty good because it can essentially do 3 dumps, and then once you get it plussed, it does 4, which is pretty good. Do not lie to that. And his S1 is full AOE, even though it's a 1 dump full AOE. And then with plus, it's a 1 dump full AoE with another dump to the targeted enemy. Frick, I can't talk today. So, alright, let's get into the new characters now. A lot of you guys are probably waiting for this one. Alright, Lunafreya is easily an S tier unit. And I'll go over why. So she has her brave attack and her HP attack. Once she gets up to 4 stacks, she can use them on one of the units in the party, and they give him and gives him 3 turns plus 2 free ability uses to the base kit. It's like, yeah, it sounds very familiar. It sounds very familiar because Terra's is like that too, but it's 6 turns and gives her 5 free turns of extra abilities. But she just does that, but for the whole party, but only for 3 turns. That's very good. She also has the push effect, which means she can give a little bit extra damage. It's like 11k, but that also stacks up with FR too. I believe it does. I'm not sure, but it's still something to mention because all the damage matters. Her LD gives 6 free turns and also gives free ability uses as well. Wait, is it 6 free turns or is it 3? I think it's 3. Her S1 is an instant turn rate that also fills up the FR gauge pretty well. Her S2 is a 5 dump, I believe. 5 dump HP is a 5 HP dump ice attack. Her EX is a ice enchant for the whole party. Which means she can go pretty well with Cam. Because then you don't need a call. And then you can use that call slot for something else, like Aroa, for that Aroa effect. Or like Leo, who gives HP damage up. Lunafreya also, her FR is very powerful. It's a water and ice condition based. So she basically gives a ton of and also, okay, so another thing I'm gonna talk about with Airfart is that it's very similar to how Lulu's works. Lulu having the stack enchant, she actually helps stacks enchants with the ice and the water, as long as you have it active, of course. But it's only for 10 turns. The water stack enchant. So it's very good, but it only lasts 10 turns. With the whole party. It's not just her turns. It's the whole party's 10 turns because it's FR. So, but that can still be very helpful for water weak characters. And also ice weak characters. It also helps to work if the condition specifically meets. Especially works since everybody gets a part of it. It's not just herself is water enchanted. It's everybody is water and ice enchanted if you have the ice enchant off. I don't know what else to say about her. She does a pretty good job supporting. She's pretty beastly. But her animations are, I do not like personally. A lot of people will say that they're good. Her FR animation is probably one of the worst FR animations I've ever seen. It is very lackluster, and it reuses a lot of her base kit animations, alongside Rydia's reused animations as well. But also her S2 doesn't feel like it has power. Her LD feels like it has power, though. But, yeah, but everything about her is super good. Core, you broke the game. You absolutely broke it. He's an easy S tier as well. He's the global first release. But once he came to JP, he did essentially get a rework. His base kit did not change at all in terms of HP dumps. It just got more brave hits, which helps him cap better. His LD got more damage on top of it. His EX went from 1 dump to 3 dumps, which now makes it a worthy button to push, instead of, ignoring it. Because what I've heard is that his EX before was not even worth touching, and so now it's worth touching. So you can now press it, and you can get a lot of good stuff out of it. His follow-ups are double dump now, which dramatically helped him in the end. Because a lot of trap and follow-up characters got double dumps on their attacks. Core was no different. The only character that didn't get that was Ace, but we all know why he didn't get that same treatment. Is because he would become one of the most broken trap characters. But I feel like he was pretty balanced in that retrospect. Core. But the reason why Core is this high up, because by himself that doesn't sound that good, because okay, yeah, that's not S tier worthy, SDH. It's like A or B tier worthy. I'd be like, yes, I agree. But it's how he interacts with FRs that makes him broken. You see, if you have Ice Enchant, and then say you're using Cam FR, and you say you're using Tidus will do his regular stuff, and then Core can come in, because it counts as a preemptive turn, it will count towards the FR gauge without making it go down, and it'll stack up upon with Tidus's. And so you don't want how much you can make it go? About 120%. Or lower. Or 100% between 120%. On a damage FR based character. That is incredibly insane. And they also did not fix it. Just like Cam. He got a bug. They decided to make it a feature. We don't know if it's going to get fixed still or not, just much like Cam, but at this point we're pretty convinced that Cam isn't going to get fixed. But for Core, I don't know, maybe he'll get fixed. This past maintenance he didn't get patched, but they might make it a feature instead, which honestly, that would give him usage, make him very much worthwhile on a team, much like Lunafreya is an insanely good support. So Core is kind of insane. Do not knock down Core. A lot of you and a lot of the global viewers, yes, I know you guys exist and do watch my videos, are going to be pretty happy about that. And I'm going to be like, yes, you should be happy about that, because all the other global first units have been below decent. Or just decent. But Core, on the other hand, is completely broken, only because of how he interacts with FRs. So, but does that mean he is the absolute best unit in the game? Heck no. Heck no. That's still Cam. Cam is still freaking broken. He's one of the most impressive BT effects in the game, and he has one of the best FRs. Anybody else, like Tidus, is just a very good DPS in general. Pursh is just Pursh. Kane has incredible follow-ups and a great base kit. His FR is garbage, and we all know that. Selfie is an incredibly good launcher, who has an incredibly good launch enabler. Machina is Machina. He has a 1 million damage button that also has a double dump follow-up. Emperor does like 8 hits on his HP++. Ursula has a great FR and is a really good battery. Terra gets lots of turns to herself and is a self-fulfilling FR that really is like very similar to Tidus, but she does magic. Ramza is a very good support that helps build up the gauge a little bit, and also does damage very well, and also has a very good BT effect. You see, like, Core is great, but he's not absolutely busted. So, but he's not like the absolute most broken character in this game. That still is Cam. But still, again, he's extremely good. Do not forget that. Same thing with Luna Freya. And that is pretty much it for this tier list. I'm going to say a few things before I say things about my socials. For some of you guys that have been commenting on my videos, and do not understand the fact that this is a Japanese tier list. This is a Japanese tier list. This is not a global tier list. Global tier lists do not exist for a good reason, as we already have a meta surrounded by JP. But there's also stuff like global first characters and global first LDs, which we don't know what's gonna happen for you guys this anniversary. We'll know tomorrow as I'm recording this, but also you can use this as future advice if you would like. Just remember, like, this could always change at a later date. Like suddenly it could be that, Kane is gonna go down to like B tier and be bad, or like be decently good, or like, actually I'm gonna put Lukuna in A because he still has a really good golden debuff, but it's Laguna. So do not forget that. All right. But this is my tier list for January. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful, or at least entertaining, on why I thought why characters deserve to be here or there. But that's just how I feel. And I hope you guys have a good day. Do be sure to check out my socials. I have a Twitter. I have a Twitch account, which I'm probably thinking of using again, and probably playing global or playing like other games as well, not just like global DFFOO. But I'll also be, and also check out. I also have a Discord server. If you would like to join, you can discuss. You can also ask me questions personally there, like why I put a character where and why I feel like they deserve to be there. Also, I think that's it. I think that's all the socials. And also, I am working on a new video called The Problem with C90 Unionite, where I'll be going over the issues of C90 Unionite and why he is the way he is, and why I think he's bad the way he is. And I hope you guys look forward to that one as well. And I'll be having somebody edit that video, and he seems pretty cool. So be sure to of course check my socials, follow, like this video if you like it, subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.